progress.
There we go, good time. I'd like to call to order the meeting of Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners workshop meeting. All commissioners are present with the exception of Commissioner Cross and Commissioner Engel, who are excused. Would note that we did meet in executive session, discuss matters of personnel and real estate, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. And ask that the pledge be led tonight by Commissioner Napper.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome, everybody. We'll begin with petitions, complaints, suggestions from citizens. Does anybody wish to address the board tonight? I don't see any. Oh, you? Okay. Sure, that'd be fun.
Do I-
Come on up and
Oh, I've never done anything like this before, so.
just come up to the podium, state your name, where you live, and
Okay.
try to
Thank you
keep
very
it
much.
to within 3 minutes. If you
3
want.
minutes?
Yeah.
Three minutes would be a long time, okay.
You want those tricks?
Okay, thank you. Good evening, my name is Joanne Kell, and myself and my husband have been a resident in Susquehanna Township, the 3900 block of Green Street, for 37 years. And we've been very, very happy here. And through the years, our neighbors have been very special people. You know, we all look out for each other, try to keep our properties nice. We all work very hard. And one of our neighbors throughout the years has been the Days Inn, and they have been we really haven't had any complaints. They've worked with us. But things change, and it's changed within the last few years. I don't know if there's a new ownership or what, but especially lately, I am at a point in my life where I am afraid, and I think that there's health issues coming from that hotel. Let me tell you, first of all, my husband is handicapped, and you know, he takes his little strolls out in the backyard. He's 71 years of age. He was a strong man at one time. He's not anymore. And he was walking out back with the dog a couple months ago, and 4 individuals came down our driveway, past our garage, behind our shed, and they're trying to jump the fence. Now, my husband, yelled at them, but when he came in and told me this, I'm like, oh my God, Harry. All they had to do was blow on him and he was gonna fall over. Needless to say, a week or so ago, I was going out to the trash. And when I went out to the trash, I see this not a little boy, but he was about this big, on his bicycle, going behind my shed. And I yelled, hey, what you doing? Well, I'm trying to get on the other side. I said, no. This is private property. You can't get over to that parking lot from here. You need to get off our private property. I said, would you like me to go on your private property? And he said no. And then he left, and then I walked into the house and I looked out the back window, and there's another one coming from behind the shed. This one's a little bigger though, okay? Told him to get off the property. They had a dumpster right behind my property. This dumpster was so loaded with garbage that it couldn't even shut. The dumpster's gone now. I don't know where it is. But like I said, I've been here 37 years. The last week, I have had 2 dead mice in my driveway. I've never had a dead mouse in my driveway. They have this fenced-in area right behind my property that has all of these disgusting mattresses. I don't know if they have bed bugs in them. It's so disgusting. And I have a dog that's out there in my yard. I don't want these things coming into my house. And you should see the garbage behind on my fence. I had somebody come in because they're coming in to do some landscaping and stuff, and I went back there. I couldn't believe it. I even took a picture of it. And then I looked at the parking lot, and the parking lot is like trash. They play their music so loud. There's dogs barking, kids screaming. I mean, the hotel looks so dirty, and there's a bus parked there, a school bus, and somebody's telling me somebody's living in it. And I understand that people are living in this hotel. And I was up at the police station the other day, and somebody said something about this. I don't know any of this. That's why we're here, for your help. That there's a 30-day restriction to live in a hotel. I don't know, but we need help. I mean, our properties are being affected by this. And like I said, it's a health issue, and now I'm scared. I'm scared to walk to my garbage can by my garage at nighttime. And I shouldn't have to live like that. Not at this point in my life. I mean, never. But now that we're older and I can't really defend myself, or my husband, you know, I'm just scared. And I know, Charlie, do you have anything that you might want to add, CJ?
Not really, I mean.
Am I touching it all? Because I don't want to, you know, and I know there were other neighbors that said people were trying to walk through their yards. I know that signs have gone up at there's the pavilion that the church has, because I guess they were hanging out there and maybe damaging some property. Now there's these huge signs. I have read, and I even brought it up today to make sure I wasn't imagining things, but in May, there was a report in the news that a 12-year-old girl was taken by an Uber driver to the Days Inn Hotel and raped. I understand there's drug trafficking in there. We have older people in our neighborhood, and we have young children that are moving in. That they should not have to live like this and see these kind of things. It's not right. We're better than this. So that's what I wanted to do. We want your help. I know that Officer Martin was down today. He talked to me, came down to the house, and I know codes, and he's going to get some numbers together. But this is just not fair to us. I mean, everybody says, you pay taxes, but I do, and I take care of my property.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
My 3 minutes are up?
Long ago, but that's okay. You're entertaining. Does anybody else wish to address this topic tonight? Chief, do you have anything you'd like to add at this point?
French option.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, in the striped shirt. Did you want to say something? Sorry.
Not on this topic, but on another.
Okay, well, let the chief address this quickly, then we'll go from there.
Well, first, Joanne, thank you for your hospitality today. I met with her personally. Listen, you've come here for help, and I can assure you that help is on the way. And let me share some things with you. I can tell you that, the commissioners and your ward commissioner, Commissioner Rebarczyk, are all over this issue with the hotels, and we have 9 of them. This particular one we're talking about, year to date, since January 1st this year, we've had 187 calls there. We've done 29 foot patrols, we've had 17 mental illness calls, we've made 28 criminal arrests at the Days Inn since January 1st. And not only are we attacking from the criminal perspective, but we're doing these foot patrols, we're trying to interact with the kids from the community policing perspective, so it's ongoing. And one of the great things that's happened in the past 7 months in this township, and as I told you, I've been here about as long as you, right? So we're in this together, but in the past 7 months, the commissioners hired a new manager, Manager Teresa Everly, who literally, there's not a day that goes by that Manager Everly and I aren't talking about hotels. I'm telling you, not a day that goes by. And one of the things that she did from the gate was strengthen our codes enforcement department. And we are where we need to be right now. And last year, the commissioners, through great foresight, found an ordinance from down near Philadelphia, a township that was incurring some of these same things that you're seeing. And they put this in place, and we're almost a year into it. We had to give a year so that all the motels were warned, this is coming, and August is coming, and Fire Marshal Dries with our codes department in about 6 weeks from now is going to start that inspection process, and I'm here to tell you, pressure is going to be applied. You can count on it. Pressure is going to be applied. We want to bring things to you. We know that the nature of things have changed. After I left your home, I went to the hotel, I spoke with the general manager, I said, nobody better be living in that bus, or I'm coming back to dealing with me personally. But we do know that people are living there for a year, 2 years. It's a whole different context than what that hotel used to be. So we're making our adjustments, we're applying pressure. I've ordered through the summer, there's going to be mandatory foot patrols from the officers on both shifts, every single day. So we're increasing the presence for you. Let us get into this ordinance that we enacted last year, and I think that's going to be the pressure point that you need, and that all the residents need. And you can be assured that from the commissioners, to Manager Everly, to the police department, to the coach department, to Fire Marshal Dries, we're on top of this.
I understand that housing is an issue in general in
Yes.
society. Are these rooms that people are living in, are these being funded by the government?
That I don't know. I know that there are some placements at our hotels from County Human Services,
Okay.
children and youth, things of that nature, so that does occur. I don't know what the percentage of that is at the Days Inn at any one time, but I know they do use the Days Inn at times. So it's a changing nature, and just today I reported to codes. I ran through after talking to you, and there's 3 abandoned vehicles there on the lot. Now, we as the police department can't deal with that because it's not on a roadway. Codes is jumping on that. We're going to get them out of there. So we're on it, and it's refreshing to hear from you because it takes citizens with government to control crime. So we got you.
And is this something that corporate would be contacted about?
I don't want to speak out of place, but I think once we get into this inspection process
Okay.
about 6 weeks out, I think that could be very much on the table.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
I got their number.
Yes. Okay. We'll work with you.
I've been looking,
Yeah.
I've been trying to reach for everything.
Yeah. Together we'll get it done.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah. Well, you'll hear from me if I think more needs to be done.
I emailed you. Commissioner?
Yeah, Mr. President, if I may, just briefly.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Kell, for being here, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. We are aware of the situation, and as Chief Martin expressed, that's the whole reason we passed that ordinance last year, because we needed to have more tools to be able to address the issues. But hopefully we'll see some improvements coming in the near future.
Well, I mean, those numbers that came up are alarming.
They are.
Alarming.
They are. They are.
And the ordinance is written that these numbers are going to impact the pressure that we apply to them.
Good.
That's the uniqueness of this ordinance.
Thank you for the opportunity, I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. State your name and address and why you're here.
Good evening. My name's Douglas Hill. I live at 709 Green Street in Harrisburg. But the reason I'm here with you tonight is that I am the president of the Capital Area Greenbelt Association. And I just wanted to come up and say a few words of thanks to the township, and particularly to your Director of Parks and Recreation, Doug Knaus. The Greenbelt, as you know, is a regional asset. Our association exists as a nonprofit, all-volunteer group to help preserve, develop, and promote the Greenbelt as that regional asset for recreation, alternate active transportation, and as environmental protection. And we are truly delighted that the township has been a longtime partner with us, hosting several miles of the trail, as well as 2 of our important spurs out to Veterans Park and up to Fort Hunter. But the reason I'm with you tonight is that on June 1st, we had our 25th edition of the Tour de Belt. And I earlier in the month sent a thank you note to Manager Everly for the services that Doug Knaus had provided as the coordinator and chairman for our 25th edition. And she said, why don't you come out and tell the Board of Commissioners that? And that's why I'm here tonight, to let the public know what a wonderful asset you have and the remarkable service that Doug provides. He's been on our board of directors for a couple of years. This was his second time out chairing the Tour de Belt, and as I said, it was our 25th anniversary edition, so it was really a spotlight event. He put together a wonderful, dedicated, and talented volunteer committee to pull it all off. They did an incredible amount of work over several months. They worked with the media, they worked with our municipal partners, police, others. They did promotional materials. I think he did a couple radio and TV appearances as well. And the bottom line is that the event was just absolutely stellar, and the remarks and comments that we got afterward were just so supportive, and it's all because of the work and leadership that he provided. So he is a true asset for us. We greatly appreciate you allowing him to share his talents with us, and we genuinely appreciate all the support that we get from the township overall.
Thanks, Douglas. I didn't know that Doug, our Doug, was susceptible to being embarrassed, but he's turned it red on. As well he should. Well deserved.
Sir, thank you.
All right, thanks, Douglas.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah. That's why you slipped my $5 bill. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is CJ. I live in the 3900 block of Green Street. And my neighbor next door, he burns his wood. I can't open my windows in the nice day, you know, to air it out or nothing. He's going to burn this wood. Why, I don't know. The police, they was there. Chief of, fire chief, they was up here. They said nothing they could do. And there's a code that you can't burn. I mean, you know, my wife, she was sick. He still burned. She passed away.
Oh,
He told me he gonna continue burn, and nothing, they said they can't do nothing about it. So can you guys do anything for me?
Is it open burn or?
Well, he got like a stove or something, I don't know what it is,
Okay.
like a smokestack.
I don't know if you want to address that, George, or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up there, he was there.
Yeah.
He's our fire marshal, by the
Yeah,
way.
right.
He does.
Come on.
He's our expert.
Yeah,
I've been there.
yeah, he was there.
So, I've been there twice at least, maybe 3 or 4 times. His next door neighbor, everything that he's doing is doing within the law. The only thing that would preclude with what he's doing is if the smoke, and this is a state law, if the smoke leaves your property, it's like trespassing. They have to put it out unless it's a cooking fire or it's a heating fire. And I had a resident in the 5th Ward, I believe, years ago, show me the state Supreme Court ruling on that. So I got taken to task on that. But everything he's done, now I spoke to that gentleman and his wife and said, look, could you kindly try to do the kind of gentler thing? And there's friction there, without a doubt. I will absolutely go back and try to calm the waters a little bit more. And but everything that he's burning when I was there was clean, dry stuff. He's not cutting grass and throwing it in there. It's not green leaves, those kind of things. But yeah, I'll show up tomorrow. Or
No, but he have-
you have my
He
cell
have,
number, right?
he have, some kind of chemical wood that he burned. I mean, he's not putting no grass or nothing in there, no.
No, it's just
He don't
regular
do that.
wood. When I
That's
saw
the
it, it was
wood,
regular
yeah.
wood.
It was got some kind of chemical in it. I don't know what it is. I don't know where you buy it from.
So you have my cell number still?
Yeah, I still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me next time. I'll show up.
So, you know, well, he ain't been burning it now for because it's been so hot, you know. So I guess he got to stay in the
But
house.
we'll stay on.
Yeah, all right.
You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, you come home and you want to open your windows up and you can't do it
Just
Yep.
keep
on
calling
a
me.
nice day.
Call me as much as you need to, seriously, because then you have documentation.
Thanks, George.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else wish to address the board?
Guess we could go.
All right, hearing none, moving on to approval of minutes from our June 12th, 2025 regular meeting.
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the June 12, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded, comments or questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Recognitions and presentations. Mr. Filona. Huh? Okay. Mr. Filona is going to present, we're coming up on Park and Rec Month, Recreation Month, and Recreational Professionals Day. And a resolution has been prepared to memorialize that. Present it to Doug so that we can further embarrass him. Maybe get a picture. All right? Mr. Filona.
I'm going to go read a few lines from this proclamation. Proclamation of Susquehanna Township, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, designating July to be Parks and Recreation Month in Susquehanna Township, and July 18th as Parks and Recreation Professionals Day. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities throughout this country, county, including Susquehanna Township, Dauphin County, and whereas Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and whereas Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's, and whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors, and whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and whereas Susquehanna Township recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources, now, therefore, it be resolved that the Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim July as Parks and Recreation Month and July 18th, 2025 as Park and Recreation Professionals Day in Susquehanna Township, proclaimed this 26th day of June 2025, signed by Board President Frank Lynch, and tested by our manager, Teresa Everdy.
All right. Have a great one.
Sure.
We insist.
Speech. No, it's not a speech. It's an invite. So on July 18th, which is Parks and Recreation Professional Month, as we did last year, we incorporated an event with the Crown Point playground ribbon cutting. We're going to also be holding an event this year for our all of our staff and everything that we have in the department at Stabler Park from 6 to 8. You'll be getting official invites probably tomorrow electronically, and then paper ones to follow. So we'll have some arts and crafts and games and fun, and I might be working on some ice cream too. So.
There you go. All right.
All right.
Got to have ice cream.
You got us ice cream.
So thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Doug. All right, public hearings. This is proposed ordinance 2025-05, Township of Susquehanna for fire hydrant / fire protection equipment, outlining the maintenance and responsibilities of public-private hydrants. Public safety staff, professionals, sorry.
Delegate.
All right.
Rest of the work.
Do you need to be sworn in?
Yeah, why not?
Do you swear affirm the testimony you give this evening is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So we got.
Thank you.
Mr. President, before the fire commissioner testifies, I should probably put on the record, this is time and place for a public hearing on the proposed ordinance 2025-05 regarding the maintenance responsibilities of public and private fire hydrants, fire protection equipment. This has been advertised appropriately. The advertisement should be made by Ms. Miller as part of the record of this hearing. And Mr. Dries is here to testify about what the ordinance does and how it works. The floor is yours.
Thank you. This, Commissioners, this ordinance was brought to light by Commissioner Warchek's question as far as where our hydrants were and how often they were tested. So we went online specifically looking for a private hydrant ordinance. The water departments are responsible for theirs. However, there's a lot of strip malls and apartment complexes that are private hydrants. The water goes, specifically the water goes to them, and they're responsible for those hydrants. Those hydrants within those communities are benefited, they benefit from the insurance reduction for having fire hydrants there, as well as our ability to fight fire in those areas. So we found one online. It just happened to be one that Manager Everly wrote for another organization in her past, and we took a look at it, reworded it for us We sent it back up to leadership and legal, and they incorporated the private as well as the public hydrant system. So across the board for Susquehanna Township, it's one, whether it's private or public. That's great for Susquehanna Township and our citizens and the structures within it.
As this is a public hearing, a couple points. One of the things that I think Mr. Dries pointed to, but I think deserves more emphasis, is that without an ordinance like this, we do not have a basis to hold people accountable for their maintenance of public or private hydrants, and so it's incredibly important to have a standard. So it is far-sighted for the township to enact something like this that allows us to put the maintenance, the good working order, and of course it holds them accountable to the NFP, the National Fire Protection Code that we use, so it's appropriate to do that. Because it's a public hearing, if there's any member of the public or anybody outside who wishes to provide comment before the board considers the ordinance, now is the time to be heard.
Anybody wish to address?
Any comments by the Board of Commissioners?
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
There is an inspection routine that is required by this ordinance.
Yes, sir, once a year.
How does that work for the public versus private?
It would be the same. There's no differentiation between the public and the private side. So what we're asking in the ordinance is every September that those parties that are responsible for the fire hydrants send Susquehanna Township the information stating that they have been maintained correctly, and then we document that every year. We do not go out and inspect those hydrants at all. It's up to the property owners, the commercial side of the property owners or the water department to maintain those. And historically, the water departments have always done that, whether it was Viola or Capital Region Water and their predecessors. They always do that.
So our staff does not do the inspection?
Correct.
We have to hire a private?
Correct. Yep, we have no
And
liability.
do we get a inspector's report
Yes,
signed by that?
yes,
inspector?
that's spelled out in the ordinance, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. What else?
And your office maintains that report? Who would
The
maintain?
township will.
The township, okay.
Yes.
Just wondering how we keep that up on the calendar to make sure that.
Every
it is done.
September.
Yeah.
Hotels in August, September is hydrants.
Okay, very good.
I imagine we have a list of the hydrants, so if for instance, of one of the private hydrants, if we don't receive an inspection report at some point, someone would be reaching out to them, that would
Yes,
trigger
we-
something.
Yes, we
For
have
them.
about 200 private hydrants
Wow.
in the township.
Okay.
Now, like the giant complex out here, there's 6, so 6 of that 200 goes to 1.
Okay. Thank you.
You may have to put this on our GPS.
It's in there.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Do we, I can't recall, do we do the motion now or after the public meeting?
After the hearing.
Okay. Public hearing, yeah.
Hearing nothing else, I recommend that we close the hearing. The hearing will be closed, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Moving on to the agenda.
I think we need a motion.
Motion now,
Actually,
I'd like to,
it's not up yet.
sorry?
It's not up yet.
Oh, I thought that was, it was says
It is
consideration.
actually at the end of this.
That's why I was asking, but,
Oh.
yeah,
It does say consideration of adopting the ordinance.
that's why I just wanted to be sure. So I think we're okay with, I'll make the, I'd like to make the motion to adopt ordinance 2025-05 for fire hydrants and fire protection equipment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All's in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. All right, traffic studies. Chief, before you begin, I forwarded you an email.
Yes, sir.
About a meeting that was coordinated off the Plum Alley on Saturday.
Yep.
Residents are hoping to re-energize that playground, but there's it's not utilized at all now. But there have been some concerns raised about traffic, so I forwarded Doug's email to you, so if you could look into that.
Yep.
I'd appreciate that as a traffic study.
Already been assigned.
All right, you're the best.
Thank you. We're on it. Traffic study, Corey Road, 5th Ward, way south, in the Union Square commercial location there. This came from the Cisco folks, and the recommendation is to post one no parking here to the corner sign, 50 feet east of the fire hydrant on the south side of Corey Road, and I concur with that recommendation. On the sign.
That's not required in ordinance, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. The sign will speak for itself.
Okay. So a motion?
It just requires to approve posting the ordinance, so motion made.
Yes.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Knapp. Any discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Chief Martin, before you escape, this is a real quick question on traffic studies. There was the one on progress in Walnut. Will there be an update on that sometime? That was a couple months ago, and I just wanted to.
Yeah, so Eric Stump with our group is preparing the proposals for those to do the studies. I think there was like 5 or 6 total. As soon as I checked in with him last week, still working on them, so as soon as we get
Okay, I just wanted, I hadn't heard anything, so it sounds like we're moving along.
Yep.
That's great, I just wanted to get a real quick update, thanks.
Okay, next up is ordinances, resolutions, contracts, et cetera. First up is rebid of the Boyd Electrical Improvements Project. Mr. Greenwood.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the board is aware, we bid the Boyd electrical contracts earlier this year. The bids came in rather high, with actually a large range in between the biddings, or the bid received. So upon your approval tonight, we would be looking to rebid the project with a schedule of advertisement on July 3rd, bid opening July 31st, and consideration of award on the 14th at the board meeting. We did take a look at the plans, spoke to the contractors that bid previously, spoke with Doug. We did make some revisions to the plans where we stepped down service from 20 amp to 15 amp where it was feasible. That reduced conductor sizes throughout various legs of the design. Again, we spoke about the concrete encasement of the duct banks, so we grouted some of that to avoid as much concrete encasement, and eliminated one whole circuit, kind of like a reconfiguration that's still going to essentially accomplish the desired result, but eliminates a single one conductor line. So it's hopefully going to drive down costs in this second bid and still get us where we need to be. So.
Okay. So we're looking for authorization to rebid. Correct.
So,
Second.
Sanderson and Israel.
Now, I have a question. Do you have a revised cost estimate?
Yeah, so we do. It's right around the $100,000 mark. Again, with the large deviation of the bids that we received last time, it's kind of tough to nail down. I mean, because that's what we use as historical bid data to put together our estimates. Again, we had a low bid of 119, I think, last time, and a high bid of 281. So, I mean, that's a huge spread on a pretty small scope of work. We're hoping, with the low bid of 119 last time, that there is interest from that company to rebid So we're hoping, we'd be down, if not below the $100,000 mark around that.
Do we, I assume we take steps as well to advertise or contact other potential vendors to let them know?
Yep.
To try to encourage more bidding?
Correct, yes. Doug personally forwarded us a company that we're gonna advertise to, and we're gonna send the advertisements directly back to those who bid prior, and then probably a few other ones as well, so.
Okay, any other questions, comments? All right, so consideration bids by August 14.
We would, consideration of award would be August 14th.
And what's your guesstimate as to when it could be completed?
A 90-day contract would be November 12th. We could, obviously, the more you push on the date, the higher the price goes up, but if we want to shrink that time up, we can. It's not set in stone, we can do it.
What do you think, Brock? Is it too long enough? Yeah.
I don't want to drive the price up,
Right.
but sure.
We could probably, the way that the public meetings kind of align going forward, I think the first meeting in August is the 14th, so we're losing a couple weeks. It's not an early meeting that one, so.
All right, any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Next up is newly developed roof drain and sump pump connection procedure. Kathleen Geiger. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Good evening. Currently under our township stormwater ordinance, 19, section 10, roof drains, foundation drains, spraying sump pumps. Staff may only approve connections directly to our stormwater infrastructure if given staff approval on a case-by-case basis. However, the ordinance does not specify any framework that staff should apply to the connection. So in your packets is a procedure for your review and consideration that will provide clear, consistent review by township staff when these requests are submitted, and it's specifically for direct connection to a stormwater inlet directly from their option. So the framework includes some of the practices and aspects that we currently look at if we do get these requests, and then adds some enhanced requirements, including inspections by stormwater staff and public works, water quality testing, and an execution of an operation and maintenance agreement, and continued yearly inspections. And this is to ensure the continued safety of our infrastructure that's connecting to, and the water quality to comply with our MS4 permit. So this will just make sure that we are consistent as we review these and are able to review them on a staff level without having to go through the waiver process that we're looking at forward in our next item. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have in the process.
Okay, let's get a motion on the floor first. Is there a motion to?
I'll move to approve this procedure.
Moved by Commissioner Ralph, seconded by Commissioner Paloma. Comments, questions?
Yes, I have a question, Kathleen. First of all, you did a nice job on this, and congratulations on your certification as well. We really appreciate the work you're putting in. This was discussed at the Planning Commission earlier this week, and they had some concerns about particularly the water testing. Did you make any adjustments to this ordinance?
No, we did not. We kept the procedure the same as it is. After discussing with President Powell, we kind of got an understanding that they were more thinking of connections straight to the street or other connections, and not that this would just be for residents who are looking to directly connect to our infrastructure. That this is what, that there was some misunderstanding in how it was presented. But this is the same as, it was seen by the authority and the planning commission.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Don't go anywhere yet.
Yeah. At least we did it so you stay up.
This next item is a waiver resolution, waiver request to implement some of what we were just talking about at the 2300 block of Chatham Way. Kathleen?
Yes, so, do we have the applicant, Ms. Miller, on the call? I know she had been looking at joining, but go ahead. Ms. Cheryl Miller at 2300 Chatham Way is asking for a waiver of our roof drains ordinance to directly connect a sump pump to an inlet in front of her property. They have had some very persistent drainage issues from the sump pump. They have tried previous mitigation strategies, and they have all failed. So township staff have reviewed her her submission based on the procedure that was just approved, and we do recommend approving the waiver with an operation maintenance agreement as supported by the authority and then planning commission as for them as well, and they've given their.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Moved and seconded, and this did come before the authority.
Correct.
Last week's meeting. There was a lot of discussion about it, and overall it's leaning in this direction.
Yes.
Yes. Steve or Sean, you have anything to add? Any other comments or questions?
I just have a question. So just reading over the description here, I'm getting the sense that there was opposition to this. It talks about accelerating the deterioration of the existing inlet, reducing its lifespan and maintenance costs by the township. The water ponding is contained directly within the property and does not pose a public drainage concern. So I guess I'm just confused because everything I'm reading here supports not permitting.
So my apologies, that was my mistake. That was a previous narrative that should have been revised. It was township, it was our previous determination that to not support, but going with the process that we have, that was just voted on, we looked at the situation again, and it fit the criteria of prior mitigation efforts and the onlot of constraints, that to stay consistent, township is in support. My apologies, that's my mistake.
All right.
I don't know if it's permitted, Mike, that if she's able to provide some type of clarification afterwards that our minutes, to the extent that our minutes, I would want to make sure our minutes are clear to reflect the right language. I don't know if we can provide like an update to Leanne so that the minutes are correct.
I think
if this is not correct in the agenda.
Right. One, I think that she's provided a clarification of the minutes. Number two, I think that Leanne can correct the minutes with her, and you can approve revised minutes at a future meeting. But whatever the minutes say, what Kathleen is saying is the critical piece here, and it shouldn't affect the vote. So
Okay.
I would go ahead with the vote, and then if the minutes need to be corrected, they can be amended at a future meeting. That's how I would proceed.
Well, hopefully, I think we can probably have the minutes written in a way that'll be correct.
Yeah.
So that's great. I just wanted to flag it.
Well, this language most likely will not end up in the minutes.
Well, that's why I guess I'm trying to overemphasize to make sure it doesn't.
Understood. Okay. Y'all cool on that, Leanne?
Got it.
All right.
We're
All
good.
right, we have a motion and a second, and some discussion, most of which made sense. And, anything else? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is that it?
That's it. That's
All
it.
right. All right, consent agenda, 4 items. Approved Social Security adjustment number 2 for Tommy Car Wash in the amount of $10,186 based upon observations of work completed. Financial security would be adjusted to $1,430. Civil service list, add Craig Marquette. Number 3, approve the hiring of Deb Singer, part-time as a human resources associate at $30 per hour effective July 1st. And finally, approve hiring Shaunetia Epps McClary to full-time customer service specialist at $23.50 an hour effective 6/30/25.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Sanderson, seconded by Commissioner Knapp. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a question about the financial security adjustment. The documentation that we were provided with indicates that what's being withheld is because you could not locate the monuments. I presume that's the boundary markers on the property. And so we're going to be withholding $1,430. All that seems calculated properly, but I'm just wondering, is there a follow-up to that? I mean, are they going to take you out there and show you the markers, or is this going to hang out there as an
So
unfinished thing?
I think what we're seeing is they were likely not set. So we reached out to the gentleman, his first name's Tanner, I don't recall his last name off the top of my head. Said, hey, we can't locate these, have they been set? If so, could you please have your surveyor or property manager go out and flag them so we can locate them? If not, they'll need to be set.
Okay, so we're going to just keep that financial security hanging out there for $1,400 until?
Yeah, it's either that or we release it for the, and not have the monuments.
I wouldn't do that right away, but it's so,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a loose end that I just wondered about.
Yeah, it is. We run into it from time to time where there's small amounts just being held, and the township has the ability to increase it by 10% each year. I mean, I don't necessarily like doing it for something small like this, but we're coordinating, trying to get the monuments either set or located so we can know that they have to be installed.
Right, that answers my question. Thank you, Al.
Okay. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business, is there any? We have 2 items of new business. One, seeking approval to establish township ordinance to prohibit vehicles from parking within a determined number of feet from public or private driveways. Public Safety Director Mark?
Yes, so this came to us, a citizen came to the meeting and brought this to our attention to provide a study. Officer Neely did a great job. We did find that there's certainly ordinances, not only in Pennsylvania but outside of Pennsylvania, that relate to parking too close to driveways because of sight distance. And I know in my experience in the township, this does come up once in a while. And it would be good, I think, would be helpful to have something on the books that we could use to enforce it upon complaint. And I think that's what we need to understand here, is this kind of thing is upon complaint. We're not going out looking for, it's not the culture of our police department. Many of you board members have been on this board a long time. I don't think any of your constituents ever complained to you that we are out scouring neighborhoods with and giving parking tickets. That's not who we are. Many, unless it's egregious or upon complaint, certainly. Abandoned vehicles, that's different. So I do think this is good to have for us, a club in the golf bag to pull out when we need to take that shot. That's a good analogy.
The clique.
Well, that's all I have.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second, comments or questions?
Yeah, I wanted a couple things. What this will do is start the process to actually draft the ordinance, but using this language as a model to do the drafting.
Exactly.
And then as far as and I think this is a good, others may have gotten similar complaints. I've gotten these complaints before, and I can remember a few in Edgemont, and particularly I think it's Clayton Avenue or so, where people just park right next to a driveway, or makes ingress and exiting a driveway difficult. And from what you said though, I would assume that if we do enact this, that more likely we would probably issue a warning, sort of citation, and not actual fines.
Yes.
Unless somebody just keeps doing it over and over again, something like this would probably be a warning type situation. So you would agree.
Yeah, we actually have warning parking tickets that our department's had it for 40 years. It's something unique to us because we know a lot of people come out and see a parking ticket, they get upset, but it allows us to give enforcement and as a reminder.
Okay, any other thing?
Thank you, Chief, for your work on this and the officers' work on it.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Wait, did we vote on this?
You did not.
There's a motion in the second.
There's a motion and a
You get
second.
comments, yeah.
Commissioner Robarchuk made the motion, Commissioner Sanderson seconded.
Gotcha. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Marshal Grease, Edgemont Fire Station, roof bid estimates.
Commissioners, included in your agenda are 3 quotes for the repair and replacement of the roof at Edgemont Fire Station. It has significant leaks. It's continuous over the last several years. The prices in your packet are between $12,600 and $68,606, so they're similar to the void spread, if you will. Upon review of the identified discrepancies in all the quotes, we identified significant concerns in the likelihood of asbestos in the existing rubber membrane where it meets the outer walls of the structure. The lowest quote does not specify this as far as the asbestos goes, and explicitly excludes asbestos. Additionally, the quote does not include raising the exhaust fan curving where it's believed that one of the leaks is coming from. It appears that the social hall exhaust fan curving was never raised with the addition of the new addition that occurred in 2005. The new roof slope creates additional water that runs down into the old social hall area, and we feel that that's definitely impacting the leaking of the social hall area. Considering these factors, the exhaust fan curving, the scuppers, and the interface of the east side roofing material with the exterior roof wall, it is believed that these are critical issues that need to be addressed. The recommendation is to engage Susquehanna Valley Roofing for $17,795.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Sanderson and Knapper. Questions or comments?
If I may, just one edification, did we approve previously to put this out to bid? I mean, Claire, I'm impressed with the work that we did do. I just didn't recall, and I didn't know, because my recollection is that a lot of times when we do bids, we approve ahead of time that we're going to do the bids. Or is there, depending on the type of work, or that we don't approve ahead of time? I'm still trying to learn all our processes. I mean, I assume this was fine that we already. I just don't recall.
It's a replacement. It's not new, and so that's different under the language of the code.
Repair, not construction.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm trying to understand. Okay, I'm just trying to get a clarification in my own mind.
No, it's a good question. But
Okay,
since it's
that's good, because I thought that the work that was put into this was excellent.
Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Commissioner comments? Yes.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Napper.
just want to report Public Works will be closing Paxton Church Road. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Webb. We'll be closing Paxton Church Road Tuesday and Wednesday, July 1st and 2nd for patchwork. Also, we'll be closing the Paxton Church Road between Progress and Elmwood as well for patchwork.
What about the hours for Public Works?
Oh,
Stay the same?
no. Public Works will be changing their schedule from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. due to the heat. I'm sure that other companies, water companies, trash, if you haven't noticed, is starting early due to the heat. So this has already been discussed and approved. Did I miss anything, Mr. Webb?
No, sir.
All righty.
All right. Any other comments?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are out of here.